Hello everyone. So today the question which we are gonna do is find if path exists in graph. So basically we have been given a edges 2D matrix and we have been given a source and a destination. So we have to find whether there exists a path between 0 and 2, that is source and destination. Like if you see this example, there is a path from 0 to 2, but in the second example there is no path from source 0 to destination 5. So this path can be either direct or indirect. So that is 0, 1 and 2 is also path, and 0, 2 is also path. So we may not necessarily have a direct path, but we need to find whether there exists any direct or indirect path between the source and the destination. So now let's move to the code. So basically this is the code which I have written. So basically what I do is that I convert this edges matrix given to us into a graph. That is, I use a hash map for that. Like there is a hash map of integer and array list of integer. So I will explain you that. Then I send this to dfs, that is a function dfs, which returns whether I have a path or not. So now let's move to the explanation. So basically if you see my code, I have pasted the code over here. So this was the question given to us. So this was the edges given to us. So now first what I do is I declare a hash map integer array list, and now I iterate to this edges given to us. So now first I will check 0 and 1. So I have 0 and 1 with me. So 0 and 1. So I check whether if map contains key edges I of 0, that is, does my map which I made just now, initialized just now, does it contain any does it contain a key 0? So no, there is no currently there is no key 0. So what is that? So I make that 0, and I also initialize a new array list. So I will initialize a new array list over here. I initialize a new array list. So as you can see here, the array list I have made it. This is the new array list I have made. And so, or if I already have that array list with us, so I will get that array list and store it in the list variable. As you can see, list is equal to map dot get edges I of 0. Then I will add this one, that is 0 1 is a connection, so I will add this one to the array list of 0. So 1 will be added. Now same thing I will do it for edges I of 1, that is 1. So here I will check whether there is an array list associated with the key 1. If not, then I will initialize 1, else I will get it. So I will again store 0 in array list of 1, because this is a bidirectional graph. That is, we have the, like, this, the path is from 0 to 1, and the path is also from 1 to 0. So I will store here 0. Next I get a 0 2. So as you can see, I just added them. That is, in list I added edges I of 1, that is 1 I added here into list of array list of 0. And then in list 2, that is array list for associated with 1, I added the edges I of 0, that is 0. Then I store the updated list in the map. Then I get 0 2. So 0 2. Now I already have a list associated with 0, so I add a 2 over here. And for 2 I don't have a list, so I initialize it and then add 0. Then for 3 5, again I initialize for 3 and add 5. And then for 5 I initialize and add 3 to it. So here 3 will be added. Now again for same for 5 4. 5 I already have, so I will add 4. And for in 4 I initialize and add 5. So in 4 3 I already have a list, so I will add 3. And in for 3 I will add a 4. So I have completed my hash map, that is the representation of the edges given to us. So now I need to find whether there is a path from 0 to 5. Okay, so this is now the main function which we will work on is this dff, is a dfs function which I have written over here. So what I will do in that, so initially I call the dfs using map. There are basically four four things which the function will accept. That is the map which we made over here. then the source, the destination, and visited function. So the visited function is basically to avoid a stack overflow condition. So okay, so now I will simply send 0, that is source, and destination as 5. So okay, my source and destination is 5 currently. So now I take the array list associated with the source, that is I take the array list of 0, since 0 was the source I sent just now. Then I add 0 to visited. So let me create one. So okay, I have created one visited array list. Since this will be needed for checking the stack overflow condition. So first what I will do is I will add source to visited array list. So 0 will be added to the visited. So now I will, since I have the array list associated with so then I will take the array list associated with the source, and then I will iterate through it. So as you can see, I have taken the array list from map.get_src, then I will iterate through it over here. So what I will do, if the list of I, that is the element of an array list, is not visited, that is the visited does not contain the variable, the list.getI, so I will go to it. So what I will do is that I will have first element as 1. Now 1 is not in the visited array list, so I will go to 1. So I will call the dfs function, and now my source will be 1, that is list.getI, but the destination would remain the same, and I will also send the visited function. So again, in the visited function I will add now I am here, so I will add the visited in one in the visited array list. So 1 is added. Now from 1 now I have only one element, that is 0, but now 0 is already visited, so that's why we do not move any further in this. Otherwise, if we wouldn't have this visited array list, so what would have happened is that I would have again gone to 1, again gone to 0, then again I would have gone to 1, then 1 0. So this loop would continue. So to avoid this stack overflow condition, I just maintain this array list. So okay, this was useless. So now I go back to the array list. So now since now next element of 0 is 2, since 1 was we didn't get any useful from 1, so we go to next element 2. So from 2 again we have 0, so we have a 0 over here. So again 2 I will go to 2 and 0. So again it is in the visited, so no nothing will be carried out. So as you can see, I have iterated through all the elements of 0, but I didn't get the destination 5. So that means that does not exist any path. Now let's take an example where the path exists. So this is another example where we have only 0 1 and 1 2. So again same procedure, I will create a hash map. So for 0 I have only 1, so 1 will be stored, and for 1 I will store 0 first, and then for 1 and 2, so 1 for 1 I will store a 2, and from 2 I will store a 1. So this was the hash map. So our source is 0 and destination is basically 2. So for let's assume that we have to move to 2. So now what I will do, now first I will go to this function, and as source is 0 and destination at 2, so I will take the array list of 0. Now one only I have only one element, that is 1. So now I will move to the array list of 1. So I have a 0. Now since 0 was uh, added to the visited array list, so I will ignore it. But yeah, before that I will also add 1, since at the top we add the source. So next one is true, so I will move to 2. Now as you can see, now 2 is there in the array list, that is 2 is a destination, so we will return a true. So it will return a true to 1, and then 1 will again return a true to 0th array list. So this was how so now we have a true over here, so it will return true. So this is how it goes, and this is how the function works. It uses dfs basically, and it will see whether there exists a path or not. So let me submit this. So it gets accepted. So yeah, so this was it. Thank you for being with me. I hope you liked the solution video, and do like and subscribe. Thank you very much.